So let's just start with Alexander Ovechkin, since the commissioner is here and all of that. What are your thoughts on Alex Ovechkin, the player?
Well, you got to give him props to do what he's doing, and just consistently year after year at this age too. It's pretty impressive. I don't think anyone really 5-6 years ago thought that this was going to happen, and he just keeps pumping the goals in. So that's the hardest thing to do in our sport, and he's clearly continued to be the best at it.
Yeah, in the last couple of years, it really hasn't been this way. This is sort of a resurgence. Do you think he's energized by the fact that team around him has gotten so much better?
Well, it has to help. I think this, chasing this record obviously helps. Just stay motivated and every night keep pushing to score. And then when you're on a team that's winning, that only helps.
No question about that. One more thing about him, the personality of Ovechkin. It's different. Crosby's the player, and he's an amazing player and one of the greatest we've ever seen. Ovechkin also has this added element of being such a big personality. What has he meant to the game?
Well, I think both of those guys have meant a lot to the game, especially they kind of always seem to be compared against each other and kind of came in around the same time and, played against each other in a lot of good epic battles. So it's been good for the hockey that way, and each guy's been great for their city where hockey's played too. It really helped, push the game and where they play. So, you can't say really enough about those two players, and Ovechkin now with all this going on is, it's a special time for the league and him.
All right, let's get to tonight. Looks like from the morning skate, no Jordan Staal again. So let me just ask about what you're managing here. Is this more precautionary, trying to make sure that he is really ready to go in a couple of weeks?
Yeah, I think all the injury guys that we've kind of had out over the last couple of weeks, that's more the mindset. Jordo, I think if he push came to shove would play, but again, we're in that position where it doesn't make any sense to do that with players that are, fighting a little something. So we'll keep him out until he's, 100%. I think that's really the mindset, and hopefully that happens sooner than later.
All right, who are the players you are hoping will step up and fill some of the void?
Wow, it's not one guy. You're not replacing that. And then, the tough thing is you play in Washington, which is probably the biggest team in the league.
Right.
And so whenever you take, the big guys out, that's not advantageous. But, there's 20 guys. Someone's got to do a little bit extra, and I think everybody does. So that's kind of the way we're looking at it. It's kind of what we did the other night. Found a way to get it done. That's what we got to do again here tonight.
Let's just talk about that 4-minute penalty kill. You started Mark Jankowski with Jordan Martinook on the first PK unit, and then the dynamic duo went to work. At some point, do you just shake your head that Seth Jarvis just keeps pumping in shorthanded goals, and he and Aho just have this thing going?
Well, I don't shake my head. I'm pretty happy about it. It's that's a crucial time of the game. That's you're getting a 4-minute penalty on accidental high stick, which that rule probably needs to change too. But it's that's a big part of the game. And generally, you're thinking they can score 1 or 2, and you're just trying to get through it, and then to come out ahead on that really is the game for me. So it's those two, and Jarvie in particular lately, or this year especially, just been a real special player.
Do you feel as though Aho, Jarvis, and Blake have gotten into a pretty good rhythm here?
Well, they certainly have by the way they're playing. They've been every game that they've been together has been really good. May not have scored, but just dynamic and what you're hoping to get out of best players when they're together, right? Like, it's got to be noticeable, and I think you could argue that that's pretty much every shift almost. They're like doing something special, so that's obviously what we need, and who knows how that's going to stay together. I mean, if it continues to play like that, there's zero reason to change it.
Do you have reservations? Because I don't know, Blake might be the tallest guy in that line.
Right.
Do you have reservations about it?
Yeah, well, just naturally, especially when you get on the road, there's a lot of things that teams can do to kind of mitigate that, and that's the concern. We haven't really had a ton of road games here lately, so we'll see how it all shakes out. But I guess it's still about the fight in the guy versus the size of the guy. So I think we know Blaker's a little guy, but he seems to sure have a big fight in him.
No, there's no doubt about that. My math says that when those three guys are on the ice together at 5-on-5, you've allowed just one goal in however long they've played. I think it's the sixth most frequent trio you've sent out there. All right, final thing. What would it mean to clinch a playoff spot for a seventh straight year?
Well, listen, it's a huge accomplishment, number one. I mean, that's telling you making playoffs is, now it's kind of around here is just kind of like, oh, you're supposed to do it. But,
right.
Let's not forget, it is not that easy. And that means you have to play 6-7 months of good hockey. And that, to me, is what these guys have done. And, yeah, you're going to have your hiccups and all that, and that's just natural. But how do you consistently over time, rising to where we've risen every year, I think says a lot about the group. So hopefully we get that done here tonight. But it's that is a big accomplishment.
Yeah, and it's the first step, but there are only 4 other franchises that have done it, and Boston, who's one of those 4, is about to have their streak snapped. So you would be one of just 4, along with Toronto, Tampa, and Colorado. Thank you much. Good luck. We will see you later.
Okay, buddy. Take care.
Thanks, Rob.